Good evening. Hello festive friends, it's LPS Still Films here, and this is the time of year where I come and I say that I'm going to be doing Halloween themed videos for the month, and only end up uploading like 2 to 3 of them. So to kick off this spooky season on this channel this year of 2020, I thought this year I would do a story time. Now, I've done story times on my channel before. The reason you do not see them is because I ended up deleting them for some very weird reason. I had this moment in my life where I kind of disliked a lot of my old videos and I deleted a lot of them. And I regret that a lot right now because sometimes when I'm feeling sad or reminiscent of the good old days, I like to look back on my old videos and I get good nostalgia from them. So now that there aren't as many as there used to be, I'm like... But who knows, maybe I'll do a video reacting to them someday and they'll kind of be back on my channel again if I haven't deleted them completely from my computer. Anyways, let's set the mood of spookiness and get into something kind of creepy that happened to me almost exactly 1 year ago, November 2019. Oh my gosh, I miss that year so much, despite the fact that I had my first real, undeniable interaction with something that was probably supernatural. So like I said, this was from November 2019, or maybe it was early December, pretty sure it was November. So it was just a typical evening for me. I was sitting on the couch, I was watching some TV, I was drawing, I was scrolling through Instagram. So what you probably don't know about me is that I am a couch sleeper. I love sleeping on the couch, mainly because it is where the big screen TV is, it's closer to the kitchen, there's more fresh air because it's closer to the front door and all the doors. We recently moved since then, so the situation is very different here. So anyway, I was just sitting on the couch, and I was getting ready to go to sleep, and, you know, I'd been getting a weird vibe. There's been a lot of changes and things going on. This was 2 months before we were gonna move. I didn't know we were moving at the time, but there were still a lot of odd things going on in my personal life that I didn't necessarily like. So I finished up my routine, went to sleep around probably a little after midnight, maybe 1 o'clock. I lay down on the couch, I close my eyes, I'm just waiting for myself to drift off to sleep, and all of a sudden, I hear a noise. And I kid you not, it sounded like it was literally in the kitchen by the back door. It was a very low, angry cat growl. Now, first thing, my cats, at the time I had 2 of them. Also, at the time, I lived back in my old house. In that house, we had a very large garage that I had converted into my studio, and that is where my cats slept. There's a slide door that leads to the laundry room, and through that leads you to the garage. So there are 2 doors. The door that leads you to the garage is very heavy, and so there's a wall separated between the living room and the studio. We never hear anything on the other side, even when the cats are in there. Every now and then we might hear some muffled thumps, like if they're getting into a fight or something, but it's incredibly rare. We never hear them make any vocal noise. The 2 cats were both locked in there at that time, obviously, and even if we could hear them, there's no way it would be as clear as what I had heard. No way. So being the coward that I am, I literally just stiffen, and I'm like... And then logic starts to come in. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Maybe one of the cats got out. Maybe they're just hissing at the dog or something. And speaking of dog, when I heard the growl, my Siberian Husky Maya heard it as well, because I heard her get up and trot over. We have every single floor in that house was tile floor, so you could hear when the dog was running around very easily. So I hear her walking over into the kitchen, and I'm like, okay, this obviously wasn't me just like having some sort of weird dream, half dream thing. She heard it too. So I sit up, I look around, and I'm like, I get up, okay, and I look around, and then I'm like, alright, you know what? I'm gonna go ask my mom to come help me look for the cat, because I'm a little bit weirded out. The door's locked, the cat's supposed to be in there. So I go into my mom's room, and she's just about falling asleep, and I'm like, Mom, I think one of the cats got out. And she's like, no. And I'm like, I heard a growl. I heard a cat growl in the kitchen. She gets up, and she has that look on her face where it's that look where that kind of something is wrong face, and I'm like, what? And she said that as she was starting to fall asleep, she thought she felt something touching her hair. And I don't know if she was having a nightmare, but she said that she was trying to push something away from her. She felt like there was something pulling on her hair or touching her hair or something like that. And I'm like, well, when did you feel that? And she said that it was at the exact same time that I had heard the growl. So we both decided to go into the kitchen and look around. And so first things first, I believe in God. I believe that there are angels, I believe that there are demons, I believe that there are things we can't understand. But also, like I said, I am a coward. I love the supernatural. I think it's very interesting learning about stuff like that and watching creepy videos. But however, when it is happening to me, I will do whatever I can in my power to debunk it. So I'm telling my mom, I'm like, I must have just heard it through the walls and you must have just been having like some sort of maybe sleep paralysis or maybe some sort of a nightmare. I mean, that happens. And so, no, it's gotta be around here somewhere. And I'm like frantically looking under. I go to my room, I look under my bed, I look behind the couch. I'm looking literally everywhere. I go into my studio where the cats are, and they are both like dead asleep. So I just walk back out, and I look at my mom, and she's just like, and the dog is running around, and I'm telling her to go look for a kitty, go look for a kitty, and she's running around. And so that was it. And I will tell you this much, I did not sleep that well after that. It wasn't one of the cats, I don't think it was, and even if we could have heard them from the other room, it was not muffled. It sounded like it was in the same room as me. So that was something. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Maybe it'll give you spooky Halloween vibes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any idea of what it could be, what that could have been, just let me know in the comments below. Also, side note, wasn't a stray cat either. There was nothing outside. All the doors were closed. Doggy door was closed. You can't hear any cat meow when those doors are closed. Trust me, because I've had to let my cats in and you can barely even make out a squeak when they're meowing to get in. So do with that information what you will. And I will see you guys in the next video.